But I was like, is this some next level meta commentary that I'm not capturing? This movie made me question everything, Kyle. I don't even know who I am anymore. Kyle, who am I? What? I don't know what's happening. Hello and welcome to the 8th episode of Good, Bad, or Bad Bad, the show where we watch terrible movies so you don't have to. I'm your host, Brian. I'm joined as always by my good friend, Kyle. That guy. Today we watched a recommended movie, An American Hippie in Israel.
Brian, was this movie recommended to us?
A couple times. I think maybe by the same person each time. I gotta go back and look, but we got at least 3 recommendations, potentially all from the same person.
That means we listen to you.
We try. We'll get there. Oh, God. Okay, so this is a 70s. It's for like 1972, made in Israel by a bunch of Israeli people.
How could you tell, Brian? How could you tell they were Israeli?
I don't. Why? What do you mean? Because it's in the name of the movie.
Like every guy's name is Moshe.
Oh yeah, in the credits, the opening credits, they're all named Moshe, and like yeah, I did notice that. So this it's a weird one. This is a weird movie.
This is Stanley Kubrick level trying to say something without anywhere near his execution.
No, yes, they got a message and they're going for it, but they got 6 pages of a script and they tried to make it into a feature-length movie.
That is the perfect example of what this is.
I was like, they got stoned, wrote 5 pages of a story, and then we're like, guys, feature-length film. Let's do it this weekend. I got nothing better to do.
Let's get right on those opening credits. First off, I love the opening credits.
Second one, boobies. That's a new record for us.
Holy crap.
It is the opening frame.
Nothing but, this is like production stills, pretty much, isn't it?
The first 3, I was like, wait, these are just production stills. Because there's like, it opens on a shot of a chick, just a still frame shot of a chick in the back of a car with her tits out. And then it cuts to another shot of the guy filming that scene.
Yes.
And there's like credits over this. I'm like, wait, why are they doing opening credits with production stills? That's very strange. And then it gets into different credits.
Yes.
Which like
steamroller going over
it's
flowers.
A field of flowers, and it cuts from flower to flower to flower. And this is when we see all the... This is the thing I'm really glad that modern cinema has gotten past, is the production credits at the beginning of a movie. Oh my God, I'm glad we don't do that anymore.
That shit out.
Well, yes, but a lot of movies did that back then. I'm so glad that that's a thing now. We're like, no, fuck that. Maybe a couple of actors and the director at the beginning, and then everybody else goes at the end. Because God, you sit there for like a minute and a half watching flowers, and then yes, there's a shot of a steamroller
just destroying everything in sight.
Driverless steamroller rolling through, and I was like, ooh, very subtle.
They are the masters at just hinting at what they're wanting to say.
They are really, man, they make you think about what they're trying to express in this film. Jesus Christ. And then we cut to our main character. Mike. That's right. His name's Mike.
So,
he's from America.
New York specifically,
but he's been traveling Europe, he says. Wandering.
2 years.
I don't know. He's a fucking
Vietnam
hippie.
veteran.
He's a Vietnam vet, and we'll get into that. But first thing I noticed when this guy popped up on screen, because it cuts to him in a plane, like landing in the country. We'll talk about that later. They never say it's Israel, but they never talk about it. He is wearing a goat.
It's literally a goat that it looks like he harvested and turned into a vest.
Yesterday he killed that goat and then put it on. I was like, wow, that is... But the I thought was like, oh, I have a feeling Macklemore saw this movie and that's where he got his fashion ideas from, because he looks like he's fucking walked straight out of a Macklemore music video.
Yes.
Which is fantastic. And then he gets and he lands and he's walking around, and we get a shot of him walking out of the airport, and he's not wearing shoes.
He doesn't wear shoes throughout the entire movie, Brian.
How do people do that? I I have a problem not wearing shoes or being barefoot in my own house. I can't figure out how people walk around out in public without shoes.
I don't understand how this guy afforded a goddamn plane ticket. I know they were cheaper back then.
Yeah.
But obviously he can't even afford shoes.
No.
He had to kill a goat just to get his vest.
It's not that he can't afford shoes, man. The shoes are part of the man. The man wants you to wear shoes, Kyle. Or something, I don't know. Yeah, the man wants you to wear shoes.
Who sent you? Scum of the earth. Shitheads.
What did you think of the music?
The music in this movie is grinding. And that one song in particular made me feel like I was going insane.
Shit.
Well, and this is a narrative we're gonna go there with this movie as we get there. We're gonna take you on the journey that I went on with this movie, which was a journey. But I thought the insanity-inducing music may have been on purpose towards the end of the movie. We'll talk about that when we get there. So we meet this hippie guy. He's walking around and he's trying to hitchhike.
Yeah.
He's trying to hitchhike, and I love that he throws up his thumb once truck drives past, and he's like... And then he does it again, another car drives past, and he's like pissed. And I'm like, the first two cars didn't pick you up. Like, I get that, like, maybe hitchhiking was more common back then, but, like, is it that common that you're pissed when the first car that drives by doesn't immediately pick you up?
Yeah.
Nobody picks up hitchhikers anymore. Like, that's a terrifying thing. So he finally gets picked up. This girl in a convertible stops, and he gets in the car with her, and they have some dialogue.
Whoa, it is fan-fucking-tastic. Brian, is the dialogue in this movie dubbed?
Yes, every line.
How dubbed is it?
All of the dubbed. It is just... And the other thing that I wrote, and in this scene, and a lot of scenes, that's like, a lot of times the dialogue is the only sound, like, in the movie. It's just like, they're driving a car down a highway, and there's no wind, there's no car gnats, there's no nothing. It's just them talking.
But why?
That's exactly what I don't understand.
But so he gets in the car. Yes, every line is dubbed over, but it was originally done in English. You can tell that it's not like in Yiddish or Israeli or something. It's in English. They just had dubbed over it again.
Imagine being part of that post-production.
Oh yeah. And so he gets in the car and she goes, and they start driving, and she goes,
Are you a hippie?
Are you a hippie?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Right on.
Well, you might say so. Right on.
Hippie things. These are things hippies say.
This guy, I don't mean like this guy he sounds like Vincent fucking Price. I'm not even exaggerating that. Like, he just sounds exactly like Vincent Price.
He does. He does, but in the dialogue, he says, right on. And then she goes,
Why are you a hippie, if I may ask?
That sounds like it was...
And then he says...
Well, I just feel better this way.
I just feel better this way.
That was written by somebody whose English was not their first language.
Yes, or something. And why are you a hippie, might I ask? Nobody talks like that. What? And then he goes, I just feel better this way. And I'm like, I don't know if any of these people know what a hippie even is. They're just like talking about it like, they're just like, I feel better as a hippie. I just like it because I am that way I am. It's like, it's such a weird exchange. And then she goes, so like, what are you doing here? And she's like, so what are you looking for here?
What are you looking for?
And he says, in the creepiest way possible,
Pretty girls.
pretty girls. And
This
I'm like,
dude's gonna kill you!
Get him out of the car! That's a serial killer! You just picked up a serial killer! Kick him out of the car! I was like, oh, no. That's clearly a serial killer.
Yes.
What are you doing?
Yes.
But, no. She's like, oh, okay, haha. And then
they get stopped.
left turn. Movie takes that left turn immediately.
They get stopped by something straight out of a Salvador Dali kind craziness.
It's like a fucking David Lynch scene or something weird.
Like,
it's
crazy.
so strange.
These guys with completely gray faces, top hats,
yeah, in suits, standing next to a car. And they don't even stop him. They're just standing by the side of the road, and she stops.
Watch out!
Look!
I know those two characters.
I love Mike's dialogue where he's like, they're here for me.
They're here for me. They've been following me around.
What the hell you want from me? Didn't you guys have enough chasing me around the world? What did I do to you?
Now, you guys leave us alone, or I'm going to start cracking skulls.
Scum of the earth. Shitheads. Next time I see you, I'll bust your ugly faces open.
Yeah. And that's when I wrote with this. I was like, okay, this is definitely all made up. All this dialogue is just made up.
When I first saw that, I'm like, this dude's crazy. Like, this dude's delusional and crazy. No, these people don't exist to anybody except him.
Yeah, I was hoping, but she can see him, so that's not the case. Right? I think she can see him.
Maybe it's just on a bad trip.
Yeah. This whole movie's a bad trip.
Sorry.
About what?
About that ugly scene.
So then they arrive at her house, and then he basically just shit talks him for a minute, and then they leave or something, right?
Yeah.
He's just like, I'll kick your ass.
Whenever they arrive at her house, my favorite line is, why don't you come in for coffee? I'm like,
Why don't you come up to my place? Have a cup of coffee.
we all know where this is going.
Yep. But when she gets there, she goes, this is my place, and awkwardly points at her house.
This is where I live.
She like, this is my place. Over here. Like, okay, fucking weirdos.
Why don't you come up to my place? Have a cup of coffee. Rest a bit. Then we go out into town.
Yeah.
So she invites him in, and I was like, you just invited a serial killer in your house.
You're going to die in the worst way.
Not to mention, even if you don't think he's a serial killer, he has these weird gray men after him that want to get him or something. I'm like,
exactly.
You're just like, fine, come on in. And there's also, so then she goes to make coffee, and he just walks around her apartment. I'm like, man, this movie loves taking its time. Because they just show a shot from like the ceiling of him wandering around her apartment looking at
everywhere
stuff for like 2 minutes. Fucking hell.
She's like, make yourself at home, and he immediately throws off the goat skin and just sits Indian style barefoot on the couch.
Where should I hang my goat skin? And then, so she gets back with the coffee and she goes,
Thank you. Would you like something to eat?
and I was like, my pussy? That's what she wants to say right there. That's what she's implying. But he
I think
goes,
this
no, I
might have
had
been
some
a-
chow on the plane.
This might have been a 70s porno beforehand.
Yes. Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, we can make this an actual movie, guys.
No thanks. I just had some chow on the plane. Nice pad you got here.
She says she's an actress,
I'm an actress.
An actress. Pretty cool.
which I disagree with. That is not an actress. I was like, you can't fool me, movie. That's not an actress. And she says she's an actress, and they have fucking pointless dialogue about him going to see her play or talking about plays and how he likes plays.
I used to go to plays quite a bit in my day. Well, the last one I saw must have been at least 5 years ago.
I've just been offered a part in a play I didn't like. I haven't answered yet. That's why I'm not working.
Theater any good in these parts?
I'm like, what the fuck is any of this about?
Well, then it gets to, like, what are you doing bumming around? And then he starts talking about Vietnam.
Yeah, and he has a weird
Vietnam
flashback. You're like,
You must have heard of the Vietnam War. Man, I fought hard for 2 years.
Which just looks like it's news footage
yeah,
from
it's just
back
news
then.
footage from Vietnam.
His monologue.
He
It's
goes
fucking crazy.
on a crazy person monologue. He also has terrible teeth. There's a shot where they show a close up, and his teeth are just black. I'm like, oh no. Oh, sorry, 70s. But then he stands up and starts delivering a magical monologue.
I killed God knows how many. Buddies of mine died right next to me, gasping their last breath with, why? Why do we have to die here?
About violence and war and
Turning people into killing machines.
people into machines, and then he kind of ends it where he turns to the camera, literally addressing the camera, and is like, "Stop pushing buttons."
A push on the button and we are turned into wild animals. You fools. Stop pushing buttons. You fools. Fools.
You
Stop,
fool. It
you
just keeps saying
fools.
you fools until she comes up and
Kisses him.
Fools. Stop pushing.
What the?
I'm like, no. A crazy person just stood up in your living room and started monologuing like a crazy person to an invisible camera. Don't stand up and kiss him. Why are you kissing him?
The nudity in this movie is fucking crazy, Brian.
And I was like,
There is tits, there is ass, there is dong, there is bush.
They got it all. They got you covered in hair because everything is covered.
We're gonna have so many faces covering everything throughout this movie.
And that's why I said it's 16 minutes, because they start making out and they're getting ready to have sex. And I'm like, dick time? Is it dick time? We're gonna see some dick finally. And no dick at that particular moment. You get some bush, and then they're laying there post coitus, and they decide we're gonna be together.
I'm looking for a place far away from everything. A place where I can live with a bunch of people who think like me.
He's like, I'm gonna start a new place.
Yes, he's a fucking cult leader.
He is a
he's
cult-
a crazy cult leader.
And if you notice, there's this very weird, subtle thing. Every time he's talking to her, he like grabs her like he's like gently suffocating her. It's so strange. And she's just laying there. I'm like, woman, you have found yourself an insane person. You need to get up on out of there. This
guy
not
is
good.
hippie Jim Jones. Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Yes, they all drink the Kool-Aid hard in this movie.
You might not believe this, but at 19, I was still a virgin.
And then, okay. Oh, yeah, and what was this? So after they decide they're gonna go form a hippie commune, they get up. He's laying there. He's laying there naked. She like gets something out of a box and sprinkles water on him. I don't know. You probably remember.
Yeah.
But she like gets him and sprinkles it on him. Like I'm like,
And
what
they
was
get
that?
up
And then he
and
gets
start
up and starts
chasing
chasing
each
her, and
other
then his
with
dick's flapping around in there. Dick's just flapping around chasing her. So then we get treated to a 70s sitcom opening as they like
Oh my god. Just hand in hand
bubble
walking
around
through.
the city together and like go in fountains and I'm like, what's happening? This is-
What in...
And then
you can tell how much they don't have licensing to shoot in this area
Oh.
because everybody's like, what?
what's going on?
Everybody's
And it
looking.
happens even more later when they go to that bazaar, but in this particular, they're just shooting. And then they're out on the street and they just walk past another couple that also look like dirty fucking weirdos, and they stop and they're
That
like,
dude is
I know,
the
hold
best
on.
part.
But they stop and they look at each other like, are you dirty fucking weirdos? We're dirty fucking weirdos. We should go be dirty fucking weirdos together. They just all of a sudden bond and just by walking past each other in the street.
This escalates into even more insane shit because they find more people.
Just
and then
randomly.
Hang on. Mike apparently knows his way around the city.
Yeah.
And he leads them. He leads
Leads
a whole
them through a
colony
parade of like 40 people through
to
the
like
city.
two
A
people on a
warehouse.
guitar.
He leads them to a warehouse. And I'm like, wait, where did you... Okay, you just found all these people. And literally, this takes place in a span of 30 seconds. This movie takes a million years to do everything. But there's one scene, they're like, meet these new couple. Oh, you found 30 other weirdo hippies, and now you're leading them to a warehouse. Wait, what? And yeah, he just got to this country. He doesn't know anybody. He doesn't know his way around. He only knows this actress. But then he leads all these weirdos, and while he's leading them there, they're like, the sound effects are just like, they're like, okay, they got 40 people in the room, and they're like, make noises like you're at a baseball game. And then it's just the parade of them going downstairs around throughout the city.
My favorite dirty hippie is the dude with the crazy hair and beard, the redhead guy with the guitar.
You talking about Yellow Shirt? Was he
Yeah,
wearing a
yeah.
shirt?
That dude's my
Wait
favorite
till we
hippie.
get later in a second here. He is amazing. I'm glad you had the same favorite guy. Because holy shit, I could not get enough of Yellow Shirt. We'll talk about him in a second. So, but when they first walk up to that table after they're gathering the whole group of the hippies, I'm like, man, I can smell these people through my computer screen. So he leads them with the weirdest fucking music too. The music, it's like kind of normal music, but then it's like somebody making weird mouth sounds, popping sounds over the music. I don't even know. They're like,
It's like an African tribe almost.
it's so strange. So then they get to this big warehouse, and I'm like, wait a second. Yeah. So how is this guy? He's just like in charge. They all like turn it. Well, there's a guitar song for like 3 minutes.
Oh my god, that scene sucks.
It's so long. There's just these two girls, but actually, I wrote in that particular sign. First, I wrote, okay, that is not an amplified guitar. I mean, the song coming out is an amplified guitar, and they're just playing acoustic guitars. But then I was like, this song is actually kind of lovely. They're good singers, and it's not a bad song.
We love them. We love them and all that they love them.
But then it goes on for 3 minutes straight, and
How
everybody just sits
insanely
around and watches.
bored does everybody look in that scene?
They're just like,
Some of them are. The chick at the beginning is like smoking, just like,
Yeah.
what am I even doing here?
why am I here? I wrote, okay, if this doesn't end in the third hairiest orgy in the history of humanity, I will eat my shirt. Unfortunately, I would have to eat my shirt.
Something interrupts
Something else is on limits, but
You're just beautiful people. Thank you.
But yeah, why is that dude already in charge? He gets to the country, he
Yes.
stands up and starts making a speech, and they're all like, yeah! And he's like, we're going to form our
That's
own...
why I think this entire movie takes place in his head, and he's just a fucking crazy person.
Yeah.
And I
wouldn't
think
be
when he's
surprised.
like getting out and addressing these gray dudes, like he's just like looks like he's ranting at the man, and people are like empowered by that.
Yeah, they're like,
I
this
think
guy
he's
gets
just
it.
fucking nuts.
Therefore, men, let's get organized and find a place in which we can live as we see fit without clothes.
This is the part where I wrote, this guy, holy shit, this guy's my favorite. These people are incredible. Yellow shirt guy, holy shit.
He's so
Because yellow
fucking
shirt
crazy.
guy says something, like responds to the speech this guy's giving, and he's like,
A few days ago, I was in the south, about 20 kilometers south of this town. There was this isolated little island. It's not that far from shore, and it's completely desolate. It's the ideal place for us.
This guy, I don't mean like kind. He looks exactly like was it guy Rake? I think from Bam Margera's band. Right? He looks exactly like him.
I forgot that was a human being that existed. But yes, you are absolutely correct. That crazy guy who in the beginning of the Bam Margera show had, I think he had a fishing rod in the opening credits. That fucking crazy guy with the hair. You know who we're talking about. He does look like that guy. So he's like super amped, and they're all amped about going to form this hippie commune.
When they start getting to that
And then they had the
party,
dance scene. Oh my
shit.
God. Whitest dance scene.
That wasn't even like white. That was like most
Crazy
drug-induced fucking crazy shit I've ever seen. People like, it's like everybody's having a seizure while they're dancing.
And okay, so there's music playing. Where's the music coming from? They're in an abandoned warehouse. There's no electricity, and it's not like some drums in the corner. It's a song, like an actual song that would need to come from something with electricity. I'm like, all these people are just standing in a warehouse dancing to silence. Fucking crazy people. And then our couple goes off into the corner and are like making out, and then they see another couple fucking in the just
They're
fucking
literally
in the
just banging
background.
back there.
They're just having sex back there, and they're like, okay.
And by the way, that's not weird in this film. That's not weird at all. That happens all the fucking time.
Yes, there's lots of that. Also, red shirt guy, the friend,
Yeah.
the other main character, is not a human being.
Chewbacca.
He is an ogre or something. That is not a human person. I refuse to believe that is a human person. And he. So then we'll be right back because our time's about to run out. We got to get to this. Okay, so then, after this big dance party in the warehouse, there's a shot. Like, somebody shows up, but we don't see who it is, and there's a shot of all the people staring
God.
at the door like...
Mike just goes up and say,
I know these creeps. They're after me.
they're here for me.
They're here for me, and then it hard cuts to the two gray guys with machine guns.
Yes.
Let's get him.
And they mow down the entire room
Everybody.
in like a second. But then there's also a weird jump cut in it, where it's like they're all dying, and then it like cuts, and then they're all dead on the floor.
This is why I think this might just be a crazy vision of his. There's like no blood. I think they're just like partied out from the night
They're
before.
just passed out, and he thinks that they all got
Yes.
murdered. They're all just like asleep. They're all dead, and I was really disappointed because Yellow Shirt Guy dies. But our four main characters are still fine.
Completely untouched.
The big giant ogre man, his girlfriend, who is way too pretty to be with him, and then
Except for her teeth.
yeah, and then our main character. But that's true for everybody in this movie.
Yeah.
Apparently, in the 70s, teeth were just a nightmare. They run out as the car's driving away, and they start yelling at the car. He's like,
Murderers! Murderers!
"Murders! Murders!" And then scene ends. But then it cuts to them driving, and they're all sad. And this scene is like 6 minutes long of them just driving, sadly staring at each other.
This is where the film just goes from 60. It went from 0 to 60 and then negative 40.
Yes.
Like it stops so hard.
Yeah.
It just like nothing happens.
Yeah,
For-
I was like, yes, my favorite part of any movie, watching people silently drive in a car and stare at each other. Because that
This-
happens a lot.
This is the definition of padding the fuck out of a movie.
Like I said before, they had 5 pages of an idea, and then they're like, guys, we gotta get to an hour 30. I know, let's just go drive around the Israeli desert for 3 hours and just record it.
Yeah, well, it'd be fine.
Oh, yay. So then, our main character is like, guys, why are we so sad? Look, let's go still do the
We
thing.
still got to start my
We
my
still got to
freaking
start
cult.
the fucking hippie cult commune on the island.
Listen. From now on, we're one family. And everything that we planned in a group, we're gonna do. We're gonna do it exactly the way we intended to do.
And they're like, yeah, you're right, we do. Okay.
And then they're like, it's not just like, yeah, we do. It's like, yay!
Yeah, and I'm like, they were just completely over all their friends dying. Well, I say friends, the people they met 5 minutes before they all got killed, and they were their friends that they're all sad about.
And Yellow Shirt Guy won't be with them.
Oh, God, I think his name was Ken. There's a line in this movie, right after that, where the guy goes, what are we going to do? Or he says, like, somebody says something about, like, what about Ken? And our leader's like, well, that's why we got to live for Ken. He doesn't say, I don't know what the line is, but somebody mentions Ken.
We'll do it in the name of all those that wanted to live with us, but can't.
And it's one of the people that died. And I'm like, fucking Yellow Shirt Guy better have been Ken.
In the arms of the angel, fly away from here.
And this is the scene too where I was like, oh, this guy's a legit cult leader. Like you've been saying it, but I was like, this is just a straight up, this guy's a cult leader, because he just starts saying crazy nonsense about living on an island. And they're like, yeah, let's do that.
Without clothes, without governments, and without orders. Got it?
No, oh my God, no! It was Yellow Shirt Guy. It was Yellow Shirt Ken. He was the one who told them about the island.
Yeah, because he goes like 40 miles south of the city or whatever.
Yeah.
There's an island. Which, spoiler, I'm gonna jump ahead. But fuck Ken. I know this island we can go to. It's just rock. That island is just straight fucking rock. There is not a thing on
There
that
is
island.
ruins. There's literally
Ruins and rocks.
Ruins.
It's just rocks. There's no... It was like, why would you think that's a good place to set up your hippie commune? Maybe that really annoyed me. But anyways.
It's great.
Bull fucking shit!
And then randomly, they're like, well, Kovo, the fucking ogre man, doesn't speak English. I gotta translate it into Israeli for him.
But don't forget that Como doesn't speak English.
Could you translate it for me, please?
And then she translates what the cult leader just said.
אוקיי. מייק אומר שמעכשיו אנחנו משפחה אחת, ונחיה כמו שרצינו לחיות.
Okay.
And he's like, oh, okay, sounds good.
What?
What's that about? All right. They didn't mention this at all before that he didn't speak English, and all of a sudden he just doesn't speak English. And then literally 2 seconds after that, he says a line in English. He's like, oh, there's some guys, there's a thing up there. I'm like, what the fuck? These motherfuckers spoke English. What is going on? So then they're driving and smiling and laughing, and I was like, this movie is making me hate smiling and laughing. There's so much just pointless smiling and laughing and calling each other beautiful.
Yeah, how many times does Mike say, "You're all beautiful, man"?
You're beautiful. Beautiful. You're beautiful.
Too many. Like a bajillion fucking times. It's insanity. So then they get to the bazaar because they gotta get some supplies for going to live on a hippie desert island. So they stop at a bazaar. Guess what? The only supplies they need? A fucking goat. That's the only thing they get is a goat. Like, guys, you can't just... I know Mike wants to make another coat, but you can't just fucking buy a goat and survive on a fucking island. So they get a goat, and this is where I was talking about, where they're at the bazaar, and clearly nobody is involved in the making of this movie, because there are so many times where a person at the bazaar is just looking straight into the camera like, what are you guys doing?
This goat is the most insanely docile animal I've ever seen.
Docile, but that goat also wants nothing to fucking do with them. There are so many scenes where that goat is like trying to get the fuck out. There's a scene in particular where they're driving and the goat almost jumps out of the back of the car while they're driving down the highway, because that goat was like, get me the fuck out of here. These people are insane.
What the hell?
It's a foolish pride because we cannot.
They keep cutting while they're driving the close-ups of the fucking ogre man's teeth laughing, and I'm like, oh, I can't see that. He's got the worst teeth, and he's just like, argh. He looks like fucking Jaws from fucking Moonraker. He actually kind of looks like the actor too, a little bit.
To play someday they'll have to pay for taking time to play.
But Jesus Christ, they do it like 3 times. I'm like, is this guy really proud of his mangled fucking cavity-ridden teeth? Why do they keep showing his mouth?
His face is so like,
he's not a human person. He's not a human person. Diane Kruger has not seen evidence of humans.
I saw evidence of humans.
When she looks at that guy.
oh god. So there's a point. I gotta get it. I gotta get to the dream sequence.
Yes.
That's the most
Yes.
surrealism, crazy, dumb shit I've seen.
Oh my god. So watching it, he goes, I'm gonna flake out for a bit, and falls asleep.
I think I'm gonna flake out for a moment.
That's the exact sentence he says. I'm gonna flake out for a bit, and falls asleep in the car, and then has a silent dream sequence that is legitimately just the most fucking bullshit high school criticism of society
what the fuck
that ever existed. It's like, look at poor people, look at rich people, look at people killing each other. Here's me with a giant hammer beating up.
We're being controlled by machines.
And I was like, is this giant hammer the fucking hammer he's using to beat this dumb fucking metaphor into my head? Like, goodness. Although those machine things was where all the budget for this movie went. Because those are actually kind of cool looking. They're like these huge machine head things that look like something out of a fucking music video from like the 80s. but it's terrible.
Completely silent.
All silent and in slow motion. It's all in slow motion. It's all silent. But, and this is where I got to start talking about this. This is the journey of the film. Because this is so stupid. All of this is so stupid that you're like, what is this going on? And I started to get the inkling that this movie actually wasn't pro-hippie, anti-war. Not that it wasn't anti-war, but that it wasn't so much pro-hippie as that it was a criticism of hippies and their sort of naive, everything's, let's all peace and love, let's go live in the desert and kiss and hug each other. Because that's where this movie goes. That's the big spoiler and the big weird thing with this movie, is it goes hard left from where you think it's going. And when you see that happens, it made me really start to consider maybe those. And now this movie made me a little insane because I started to buy its bullshit so much that I was like, are they just really genius? Is this genius? Because like, it was like, okay, so those metaphors in the dream sequence are all terrible and ham-fisted, but is that on purpose? Because that's how they're talking about these hippies seeing the world is. Which if that's the case, that actually works. Is this movie?
Okay. The second I started thinking, like, this is going to be a little... This is getting... Like, either this is really stupid or this is really smart, is when he starts talking about the colony.
Yeah.
Where it's either... This is going to either end terribly or they're going to find salvation. If it ends terribly, then we know it's anti-hippie. If it goes happy thing, then it's just going to be a boring-ass film.
Right. But that's the thing. I was like... This movie's actually kind of smart and doing some interesting things, which is so out of left field that I didn't know what to make of it, and it made me question everything about this movie to the point where I was like, is this fucking movie playing like four-dimensional chess like fucking Donald Trump? What is going on here? Like, or I say like Donald Trump, like people claim. I don't actually think he is. I think he's playing retard chess, but once again... We're not political, and Good, Bad, or Bad Bad does not endorse the use of retard as a pejorative. Anyways, way off base. So... Oh, and then I wrote, please stop laughing, you must stop laughing. Because they laugh so much in this movie. They laugh so much, so terribly for no reason.
Why do they reach the end of the highway they're on? Why do they reach the end and they just start going in circles while the people are fucking in the back seat?
But someday they'll have to pay for taking time to play. Someday they'll have to pay for taking time to play.
Yeah, the people start fucking in the back seat, and then they just driving in circles. I'm like, why are they driving in circles? And this is also as part of that thing where now I'm questioning everything. I'm like, does that mean something? Why are they driving? Are they? What does this mean? And then they stop. The main couple that aren't fucking get out, walk 20 feet away with the goat, and then it cuts and they're back in the car driving.
To the tunes, the bells keep ringing out. Someday they'll find a way. Someday they'll find a way. And children go...
I'm like, what was that? What was that scene?
You know what we call that, Brian? We call that a quickie.
No. But I was like, is this some next level meta commentary that I'm not capturing? This movie made me question everything, Kyle. I don't even know who I am anymore. Kyle, who am I? What? I don't know what's happening. At this point, Kyle, who I'd like to stress has a degree in TV and film and has worked on numerous film shoots, forgot how to push a record button on a camera. As such, I will be depicted by my angry cartoon doppelganger for roughly the next 12 minutes. Thank you for understanding. Kyle is very sorry. Also, I may not have noticed that the camera actually wasn't recording, even though I should have been able to see that, but I didn't because I wasn't paying attention. Sorry.
So they get a raft?
They get a raft. Oh, that's the thing. They walk out. They stop and buy some more supplies. I'm like, well, at least you realize just a goat isn't going to do it. I don't know. Because she's rich. The actress is rich. She says that in the beginning. She's like, I don't need to work. I just like acting.
And that's how you make your grub.
Oh, no. I don't have to work for a living. I just love acting.
Hope I get a chance to see you in action.
Okay. She's got like a giant house. They walk out of this shop after they buy some more supplies because, like I said, they realize maybe we can't just get by with just a goat. But the guy has oars, and I'm like, wait a second, what do you have oars for? And I didn't realize they had a raft, like a rubber inflatable raft, but they didn't have a boat or anything. I'm like, he just has oars? Okay, fucking weird. So they get some more supplies, and they get a raft and everything, and this is the scene where the goat almost jumps out of the car right when they see the island. The goat is in the backseat, and it's like, fuck this, I'm out. It's like tries to jump, and the guy's like, no, get back here.
What's going on?
Get back here, we're gonna fucking kill you later. That happens, the goat dies, people. Alright, so, and they're like, ooh, it's the island. I'm like, that's just a rock. That is a rock in the middle. That is where Harry Potter and Mr. Dursley went to hide at the beginning of the first Harry Potter movie. That is the
It's
island.
like not even 100 feet almost.
No, it's like right off the coast. It's right there. But it is literally just a rock with some rock ruins on top. There's like a bush. It's the fucking worst possible place to go.
These people have no clue how to start a colony.
No. And then so dude starts rowing out to the island, and he looks like Tom Hanks from Castaway when he's rowing. He's got the beard and the hair, and he's all tan, and he's like, oh no, it's like the thing where he's in. Yeah, it's great. So they get out on the island, and they're super psyched. They're like, guys, we got it, fucking with their one cardboard box of supplies. Which again, this is all the commentary on this is a commentary and a criticism of hippies and the how they don't plan ahead, blah blah, some bunch of shit like that. It's not as dumb as it seems, but it's still terrible filmmaking.
They dance, they party, they claim their freedom.
And again, they start dancing, and this time they're definitely dancing to non-existent music because there's music playing, but they're on a rock island with no electricity, and I'm like, what are they dancing to? Oh, and they yell freedom. Get to the island, and they all turn around and look up.
They're like Braveheart.
Freedom! Free!
Freedom! Free!
They look up at his car on the side of where they came from, and they're like, freedom! And that's again where I was like, this is kind of brilliant. Like, just shitting on them because they're like, oh yeah, they went. Because that's kind of brilliant, the fact that, they, to these people, rowing 100 feet away from society and being on a dumb fucking rock island, that's freedom to them. You know what I mean?
That night, they make a proclamation against the world. That is the greatest speeches I've ever really seen. My favorite one is probably the lead chick who's like, I don't know anything.
I'm just a dumb woman, but I like Mike.
I don't have much to say to you, but I'll tell you only this. I love Mike and believe in him. And if he says you're doomed, you'd better watch out.
That is the most brainwashed shit I've ever heard.
It's like, this is straight up cult. Because she's like, I don't know anything, but this guy, I believe in him. And if he says there's a problem, there must be. It's fucking crazy.
Like, screw it. World, I'm tired of all your
says,
shit.
you better watch out.
Like, he's gonna come up and, like, kill them? Kill the world?
You will be doomed. You will destroy yourself with your own hands. You stinking world.
But then before that, they're all sitting around eating dinner. They finish eating and they just throw some trash on them.
Come on!
The hippies are littering. And I was like, again, this must be a commentary on hippies.
Okay.
And the guy yelling wonderful things.
The chick is like pissed off at the world, whatever. But then they go to him. And she translates to him, what do you want to say to the world? And he just goes, wonderful feeling.
Wonderful feeling! Wonderful feeling!
Wonderful feeling, Brian.
They all yell like 6 times, and it's like, wonderful. Fucking stupid. Oh my god.
Brian, how smart are these people?
Brilliant.
Are they
Brilliant.
geniuses?
Geniuses.
What do they not account for? They're on
Tides.
Oh my God! Really?
The best
No
thing is
way!
when they get to the island on the raft, they pull it up on the thing. We're watching the movie. My girlfriend goes, "They need to pull that boat up further." And I was like, I didn't think about it. I was like,
Yeah.
all right, go. And then the next day, the fucking boat's gone because the tide took it out to sea.
הנה, היא הייתה פה. היא איננה, היא
He
הלכה.
says the
היא
boat's
נעלמה.
gone.
Jesus Christ.
That scene where the ogre is like exercising and stretching all over the place, and then he's like, like,
And then they all go looking for the boat
and then
for
just
like
walk
10
around this-
minutes. For like 10 minutes.
This is a fucking okay. This is the scene that made me fucking laugh my ass off. Is when they split up into two groups, go around the island, and they're like, "I guess we couldn't find it. Let's head back." And they cut across the island. It's right. It's like less than like 300 feet.
I'm hungry too.
Okay, okay, don't sweat it. Let's get back and see what we can do.
It's so fucking weird, but it's a boat finding montage, and it's that song. That song is playing the whole end of this movie. It's that same fucking song, and it started making me crazy. It started making me go insane. So then everybody's starving now because they've been a day. It's been 12 hours since they ate food, so they're all starving, and they're like getting angry and grumpy with each other. And then the one guy's brilliant plan. They're like, "What are we gonna do?" And the main guy's like, "I know. I'll swim over, get in the car, and go buy supplies."
I have an idea. Listen, I'll swim to the other side. Take the car into town. Buy all supplies we need. And speed back as fast as possible, okay?
Fucking brilliant.
And that's what the girl says.
Ingenious.
She goes, "That's brilliant." I'm like, "That's not brilliant. That's like the baseline first thing you would think of. Like, is go get in the car, buy supplies. Yeah, swim. Okay." I did not understand. She's like, "Brilliant." I'm like, "No, it's not fucking brilliant." Oh, yeah.
Very good. Can you swim well?
No sweat, darling.
It's
Start
the
swimming.
ocean, Brian. What's in all of the ocean all the time, forever and always in movies?
Megalodon.
Oh my God!
Sharks. Motherfucking sharks.
The greatest sharks that are so buoyant they're literally had
They
halfway
took
up the water.
surfboards and molded like foam sharks on top and just pushed them out into the
These
water.
sharks are like literally a foot above the water.
Yeah,
Almost.
they look terrible. And he sees these sharks, and there's two of
That
them.
look on his face was fucking great.
Yes.
Though. That was like a legitimate. Oh shit! That was the cat. That's the Tom Hanks Castaway shot.
Yeah, that is. That's the one. That's the money shot. So he swims back, and they're like, "Oh, they're sharks." And now, but this is the thing. This is again where there's some interesting, clever bits of filmmaking. I say clever. It's not that clever, but so those sharks. And maybe I'm just stupid, but it took after he saw those sharks and he got back to land. I'm like, "Oh, those are the guys. Those are the fucking robot guys." Now it has transformed. They were getting away from society, and society was the two guys, and now it's Mother Nature is the thing standing between them. And I'm like, movie, you're doing movie things, almost, but terribly. But you're doing them terribly.
My favorite line from Mike is when they're contemplating. He goes, "Man, we're in a bad scene."
Shit. This is a really bad scene.
We're in a bad scene. I love that he always still, throughout the whole movie, he just uses that fucking most generic hippie jargon where, "Guys, this is a bad scene." Yeah, because you're going to starve to death on an island. Of course it's a bad scene.
Then they spend that entire day just like, "Oh noes, what do's." I love how the one chick's like, "Let's build a raft."
Maybe we can build a raft.
That's cool. Trouble is, there ain't no trees going around, baby.
Yeah.
Like, you look all around this
They're
island.
like, "There's no fucking trees, idiot." That's what they tell her. They're like, "There's no trees, dum-dum." And then so they start eating barnacles.
It's better than nothing. You saw that I ate one and nothing happened to me.
So the guy and the fucking ogre guy.
The men need to go get food because,
They need to go look
Yeah.
for food because they're
Fuck
the
sexism
men.
or
Yeah,
whatever.
they're the men that gotta forage. And there's a scene between the two of them that lasts like 6 minutes.
Yes. And it's so fucking boring.
It's awful. All it is
You want to know? How long did it take for you to get all the information? Of the
15
scene?
seconds.
Exactly.
I was like,
Exactly.
I got what you. I got what I needed out of this scene.
It just kept.
Because all it is
going.
that the Israeli guy only speaks Israeli. I think he's whatever.
Hebrew
That guy
or
only
whatever.
speaks his language, and our main character only speaks English.
Manasseh.
Sorry, I can't get you. Listen, Como. We're in a very serious situation.
And so he just says over and over.
I don't
and
get you,
over.
man.
He's like, I don't know what you're
I
saying,
don't get
man.
you.
I can't get you, man.
אני לא רוצה למות.
Listen, I tried to swim to the other side.
I don't get
I
you,
can't
man.
understand you, man.
Nope.
Literally, that's the over. I don't know. I can't. I'm not
And
picking
then
up
he
what you're
keeps
putting down,
talking
man.
to this dude
And then
like
there's-
he understands him.
And then the Israeli guy keeps talking. They're both just talking to him like, and they do it for like 6 minutes. And I'm like, dude, movie. I got it.
They just start yelling at each other. I
Fucking
mean, that's what the
move on.
That's what the whole point of it is, to devolve.
Yes,
like, to
get
angry.
them angry with each other.
Como, to the car. We'll think it over, yes? Shut up!
So then they get back from getting the fucking barnacles, and everybody's in a bad mood, and they all start arguing with each other. And this is probably the best part of the whole movie. It's like the last 15 minutes. And they just really start to get into it with each other. And the one girl, the brown-haired girl, gets up and really starts fucking wailing on, going off on cult leader.
I'll tell you what's going to happen to us now. We're going to dry up in the sun.
Basically calling him a cult leader. She's like, you
Yeah.
smooth talked us into coming here. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're a crazy person.
You sucked us right in with your smooth talk. You lied to us.
And I'm like, well,
Yes.
somebody figured it out.
Oh my God.
Somebody figured it out. And and he stands up and delivers the best line, I think, of the whole movie. He goes and in the shot, he's like, it's like, I'm gonna set it up here. It's like this, and he's looking, he goes,
You're going too far, baby.
"You're going too far, baby." You're going too far,
That's the
baby.
most 70s shit
I know.
ever.
You're going too far, baby. And I'm like, oh no, okay. And then she says another thing.
Don't give me any more of your bullshit. I'll talk as much as I like. Big shit.
And he yells at her,
Shut your ass.
Shut
up.
your ass! No, shut your ass! Shut your ass! And this is what I wrote. I was like, this scene is worth the whole movie right here.
The part where she picks up the rock and just yells, "I hate you!"
And then this fucking smashes him with the rock.
I hate you! I hate you!
And then as soon as that happens, this movie, they just all
It goes
instantly devolve
so
into
off the
cavemen.
rail.
They all just
Yes.
instantly devolve into cavemen, and they all are fighting each other, but then the two couples split up, and he's like, this is my side of the island. And he's like, you can't come over here.
So if you
And
come here, I'll murder you.
I'll
And then
murder
she has
you.
to translate for him.
תגידי לו שנרצח אותו!
He will murder you!
For yelling.
I know, and then she goes, he will murder you! No, I kind of got the subtext of what he was saying. I didn't need you to translate.
Oh, by the way, cat fight. Obviously, we gotta rip off.
Rip
bikinis
off those bikini tops, and the whole rest of the movie, they are topless for the rest of the film. So I'm gonna have a lot of fucking nipple sensors in this one. So they drag their women to their own side of the island.
Yeah.
But even then, they're like, it gets really weird. Like, I get that they're fighting with each other, but why are they, like, beating on the women?
Well, the women are trying to escape.
Are
and
they?
then-
I guess, yeah,
No,
I
the
guess
women
they
trying
are.
to escape, and then the men grab them and just like, and just like
For like
fucking
5 straight minutes, it's just
literally
domestic abuse for 5 minutes.
dragging her by the hair.
I was like, what is happening? This is so
and it's
fucking
both
weird.
sides.
Yes, both of them are just beating the shit out of these. And then I was like,
They
what?
start like sharpening rocks.
He's like sharpening rocks and building a fort that's already there. It's like stacking rocks on a wall. And it's so fucking weird.
Then
And-
something catches all their attention.
Oh, yeah.
The
Our
goat.
good friend the goat.
They hear the goat call.
Because
They- like, huh?
they're all starving.
And they go to it.
And they find it and they square off over the goat in the middle of like this flat area.
Kind of like rocks and everything, and the goat's like trapped, and the look on this goat's face is nothing but terror.
So then they just fight. They're all beating each other with rocks, and it's the least choreographed fight that has ever been in a movie. They're just kind of like,
but like they're always keeping careful, like to keep the goat in between them.
Yeah, they're like on top of the goat, wrestling each other,
like just beating each other, like. But then
randomly it cuts, and then they're all starting to bleed, and like I guess they're dying. It's like you didn't do anything that would kill it. You just kind of pushed on each other for 5 minutes.
One of them emerges the victor,
the main
Mike,
guy,
and then he lives up.
The goat is dead.
The goat is so lifeless.
So dead. The goat is completely dead. I think it's a dead goat. This is the 70s in another country. I'm sure they didn't care. They just killed a goat for the movie. I bet. I don't know.
It's so dark.
And then the two guys, the gray guys, are up on the cliff watching.
They just get into the car.
And they get into the car.
And then they don't even drive off.
They just get in the car.
Cuts to the end.
Yeah.
This is the most abrupt ending I think we've had.
It just literally, it's just like car end. Like, Jesus Christ, what just happened? All right, movie's over. I was like, all right, well, that was that movie. So, holy fuck, man. American Hippie in Israel is... Oh, it's bad.
Bad.
This is bad.
Like, it's not... There's nothing... Like, the parts that are crazy, they're so few and far...
It's so
the driving
boring.
scene makes it so fucking boring.
It's like 45 minutes of boring for maybe 15 minutes of funny. But even then... And then it even gets undercut a little bit because you're like, wait... So is this on purpose bad? Like, cause
like this, like Ben and Arthur is great, and Finding's great because not only do they keep a pace of craziness,
yes,
but they get lost. They get lost in their. This is not getting lost in your own bullshit. They have a clean cut message.
Yeah,
and so this is bad.
Yeah,
with a good idea.
It's bad, but kind of brilliant at times. Like kind of interesting and clever. But mostly terrible. Like, it's such a strange... It's like, again, it's like somebody had an interesting idea. This could have been a 5-minute or 10-minute short film.
And it would have been...
And it would have been fine.
Yeah, it would have been
fine. Like, it would have been interesting. Like, okay, let's set up this happy hippie commune, and that sounds like a good idea, and fuck war, and but actually that idealistic worldview is a little naive, and it's not quite that simple, and you can't just say fuck the world and go live on an island and be happy. That's not really how it works. And so they devolves, and it turns out that in our base humanity, we're all still kind of fucked up people, and we'll kill each other, blah blah blah. You could do all that in an interesting way. This movie just isn't it.
No, that's like some either David Lynch or Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, it's like a Kubrick film directed by an idiot.
Yes.
Like, I guess that's the best way to... Somebody who saw a Stanley Kubrick film and was like, this is what we should do, but then has no skill whatsoever. So American Hippie in Israel is bad. Is real bad.
Like, this is the definition of our worst nightmare, is that it's so bad that we can't even classify it as watchable.
No, it's not. Don't watch this movie. It's on YouTube, but don't watch it. Don't watch it. I don't think...
Unless you want some severely tan-lined boobies.
Yeah, there's so many tan-lined boobies in this movie. But it's just... it's not. Israel bad. Israel bad. Israel bad. American Hippie in Israel bad. I've tried to work that joke in for like the last 30 seconds and you hadn't heard it.
No, it's so dumb.
Alright, so that's going to do it for Good, Bad, or Bad, Bad. Until next time, keep watching movies, just not An American Hippie in Israel, because it's fucking...
This is why we don't take recommendations.
Never again! No, maybe, if you have a good idea. Oh boy, that was a disaster.